Okay. Can you hear me? Yes. Working hard. Oh, this is it. Oh, no, 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 no. That was all me. I was checking on a message. That was all me. Okay. The buffer did not follow us. That was just me checking a message. Yeah, that was just me checking a message. All right. So we are down to a single cam, and that's just how we're going to have to run. Now I have to reposition the phone. Um, Sorry, God's child. All right. Okay. Let me. There we go. And I can pull this one up and out of the way. Oh, my shoes are in the way. My shoes are in the way. All right. You sit level. All right. There we go. All right. I am not changing anymore tonight. You know what, bald-headed man, Ryan? Maybe you should go to the doctor about that. But this isn't the place. We have no medical advice for you. English, my dear. Totally. I tried for years to learn Spanish. My brain just does not work that way. I know. I'm so sorry. Yeah, sadly, we can't help with that. You know what? Right back at you. Toodaloo-magoo. Bald-headed Ryan does have two bald heads, but I don't want to hear about it. I'm good. And poof, exactly. If you don't get the hint the first time I say something, I got no tolerance, got no patience. Don't come in here with ignorance. And I have a inkling we're going to get a lot of that. So I'm going to keep my tablet close so I can handle that. That it does. And I'm not looking forward to it, but it is what it is, Susan. So I'm going to have my tablet close so I can handle it. Okay, now that we've played for God knows how long, is my light pad plugged in? I'm going to keep you right here. Keep you close. No, my light pad is not plugged in. Oh, where's the cord at? There it is. I would too. That's why I was fighting so hard with Streamlabs to stay vertical or horizontal. There we go. That's why I was. Oh, thank you, God's child. I appreciate it and welcome. Yeah, I was trying really hard to stay horizontal, but it was not cooperating. All right, so I have lost. This has been a painting that has been in progress for a while, and I keep pushing it to the side to do other projects, but I need to get it done. I have a couple of partial paintings that I need to. Yeah, you sure did get an introduction. You sure did, and I apologize. But at least it's been entertaining, that's for sure. But if I'm going to be switching rooms with the bedrooms with the kids, then I want to try to get some of these partial projects done that I have. Yes, we absolutely love new subscribers. We got here in the end. That we did. So this actually is going to be a gift. So the landlord, so I own my home, but I rent my shop space. Yes, it will definitely be all worth it in the end, because then I'll know what platforms are going to work well for me on my devices, depending whether I'm in Vegas protesting or if I'm at home, so it's definitely worth trying to figure it all out and just experimenting with different platforms, be it app based or browser based. So but I rent my shop space, and my landlord is Filipino. A lot of the Asian cultures view flowers and koi fish as good luck symbols. And she is an older lady. She's an absolute gem. She's a sweetheart. I love her to bits. In the almost 5 years that I've had my shop, she's never raised my rent. I mean, she's just a doll. Love her to bits. But she just sold one of her commercial buildings and has had to, because it was a motel and a convenience store. You love the flowers, yeah. But it was a motel and convenience store. So the office was connected to the convenience store, and that's actually where she lived. So when she sold that business and that property, she had to move. So this has been a project that I've been kind of working on off and on for a little while. I need to get it finished because it's going to be a gift to my landlord. But I think these are orchids. And then, of course, the koi fish and the Asian style blue porcelain. So this is ultimately going to be a gift for my landlord in her new living quarters. So I've done a little bit of research, and I found that some flowers and the pink flowers and koi fish in most Asian cultures are signs of good luck and good fortune. So this is going to be a gift for Miss Mimi for her new living quarters. Mason, what's your question, darling? 2 lives are going for. Dadgummit. I'll have to get on the computer and close them out then. But I'll deal with that afterwards. Yes, it is gorgeous. I love the flowers. And like I said, I'm pretty sure they're orchids just from the shape and the petals on them. So if you can see this one here, that looks like a partially opened orchid, and then this one here also looks like a partially opened orchid. So, yeah, I need to get it finished so I can gift it to her. So I'm going to try to finish up some of these partial paintings that I have before we try to switch rooms with the kids. Mason, darling, I see that you had a question. I'm waiting for that question. All right, so I did lose a yellow there. So that was letter R, which is 19. Oh, I'm not talented. These ones are pre-printed. So give me 1 second. That's the wrong color. Do I have the wrong box? I might have the wrong box of colors. Hold that thought. I do. Must be the one on the bottom. Oh, shoot. That's my key for my gun lock at the shop. All right. So which one is this? That is the mountain scene. Okay. Here it is. Got it. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this up close so you can see, but these are pre-printed, so all the shading and everything is already done for me. So all I do is match with the guide, the colors that come with each kit. So it's not that much talent involved. Not on these ones. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Scooter Mom. Definitely resemble orchids to me. All right, number 19. There it is. No, don't start that. And these moved. There we go. All right, that's done. Yes, I love diamond paintings. They are super relaxing. All right, this has got old wax in it. Yes, most definitely. All right, got all the old wax out. Okay. Excuse me. Oh, I need a... cover minder. There we go. So I need to get this done. Let me raise the edge here so I can move my light pad down a little bit without it sliding off the desk. Yes. Yes. Very little brain power once you have everything sorted and organized. All right, so I'm going to work on these two flowers right here. And I'm just doing small sections. All right. Let's do the dot, which is number 30. That's what makes it so relaxing, is because there is such little brain power needed for it once you get everything sorted. And I'm really excited to get this one done. I have been working on this one off and on for a while now. So, and I think Mimi's gonna love it. because the last one I gave her was just a small one. It was only about, I don't know, 9 inches, 10 inches square. And it was of a little kitten with a flower. And she just fell in love with it. But in Asian cultures, gifts of flowers are seen as good luck. So and I just adore Mimi. She's the sweetest. It's going to be weird because the new owners that bought her business. Oh yeah, she's absolutely going to love it. But the people who bought her business, the motel, they are tearing it down, and they're going to be building a entirely new business from the ground up. So, and that building is classic Art Deco. It's kind of a landmark here. So it kind of sucks that we're losing the building, but she's getting older. Her grandkids are grown, so she can't keep holding on to all of these properties. So just kind of sucks that we're losing such a recognizable building. But it's old. It's in disrepair. So it'll be nice to have a clean new building. Just to take some time to get used to not seeing the classic building there anymore. And then she, of course, had to move. Yeah. And that's actually what my town really needs is a lot of that. So we live in a very historic town. Pretty much everything in town is historic. And sadly, when it's like that, you get stuck between trying to preserve the historic value as well as trying to bring in new business. Like right now, I actually just had this conversation with one of my clients yesterday. We have multiple buildings downtown, historic downtown. Like we had one of the original Western J.C. Penney's. I mean, we're talking historic. We still have an operating turn of the century steam train and museum. Yeah, you'll have to check it out. I did a short video of some of the pictures from the train station. And one of these days, where's my vape? There it is. One of these days, I'm actually going to, when I get the time, I'm going to try to take you guys down there on a live when the steam train is running and not the diesel, and take you guys on a full tour. And instead of just being still pictures that I put in and edited into a video, this will be an actual live. So, and it's a functioning turn of the century steam train. They take it out on excursions and everything. It's a functioning, they have a fully functioning machine shop where they actually will completely tear down these engines and rebuild them. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. I mean, our infrastructure, a big portion of our infrastructure in the town is nearing 100 years old. I mean, it is a very historic town. But unfortunately, sometimes townsfolk get stuck in the efforts to preserve the history, and it ends up costing. So like right now, my shop is on the edge of town. So for new people, I own and operate my own dog grooming business as well. So my shop is right on the edge of the downtown district. And directly across the street from my shop is an old, probably very just coming out of the end of the Art Deco 20s, 30s era motel that is, I've been here since the end of 2003, off and on, and I've been back solid since 2011. And I have never, in all the time that I've been here, seen this motel up and running and operating. It is literally just sitting there empty and rotting. The cost for an owner of that building to do the needed repairs, first and foremost, and then to do the work to bring it up to code, to legally operate. If somebody did that, they would never recoup the actual cost and investment to do that. There's no way. So, yes, there's a current owner, but they literally just let it sit and rot. But because of its age, if they try to tear it down, which is what needs to happen to clear that lot, build a new small strip plaza for new businesses, that would make more sense. Scooter Mom, this is so bad that's probably not even going to be feasible either. The financial investment alone just to make the building safe, let alone to bring it up to code, Nobody's going to want to invest that kind of money into this building because we are so isolated, because we are so far out in the middle of nowhere. Financially, the best option, sadly, as much as I hate to admit it, would be to raze it to the ground, clear the lot, and build something fresh and new. Give more people like me an opportunity to open small businesses, to bring income and finances into the financial portion of the city and the county. That would make more sense ultimately. But trying to get people to see that is almost impossible. Yes, the land is absolutely worth more because it's right on the edge of downtown. There's a couple of buildings in the heart of downtown that are in the same condition. Windows boarded up. Again, the building itself is so far out of repair and so far into disrepair that the financial cost, and it is marked and noted as a historic building, but the financial cost to make the building safe and then on top of that bring it up to code, that's why that building has sat empty for the last 20 something years that I know of. And trying to find people that are rich enough to just have the financial means to be able to do something like that from the get-go. Almost impossible. And why would they want to come to a little hole in the wall, middle of nowhere town? They're not going to want to. But that building, the one specifically that I'm talking about, is literally connected to the building next door that has a functioning big business in it. So what do you do? My kids are 15 and 11 years old, and they are already talking about leaving town because there is absolutely nothing for them here. Because we don't have enough options for businesses as far as buildings. We don't have, it is sad. It absolutely is. They should at least have the option to stay if they want to stay. But the way things are right now, if you're not able to work at the mine, which is hard freaking work, that's where my husband works. My husband will be getting up for work here in about 2 hours. And he'll go to work and he'll pull a 12 to 14 hour shift. And his schedule is a rotating schedule. So it's 5 on, 5 off, 4 on, 4 off, 2 weeks of days, 2 weeks of nights, which days is 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. and nights is 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. If that's not a schedule that you can handle, we've got the prison. Not everybody's qualified to work at the prison. So what do you do? In all reality, what do we have for unskilled laboring jobs in this town? Housekeeping. That's We've got so many daggum hotels because we are a tourist town. So that's an option. Convenience store, fast food or restaurants. That's about it. Yeah, it's a rough schedule, and not everybody can hack that kind of work. Mining is hard labor. My husband works in the truck shop. So yeah. And I play with dogs all day long. Well, it's a little bit more complicated than that, but yeah. Um, but it's, if you're not qualified or can't handle the shift work of the mines, because many of them run the same way or very similar. If you're not qualified to work at the prison, because we have a maximum security prison here, you don't have very many other options. Yeah, I'm in the same boat, Maya. I am best at doing what I do. Um, I don't take orders very well. I do not. I from a boss, from a manager, from a supervisor. I don't take orders very well. Um, so I am best doing what I do and working for myself and working by myself. It allows me to do what I need to do. I'm Let's put it this way, you get a 3-month probation period at the mine. And I cannot tell you how many times people have told me I probably would not make it through my probation period. And I own that. I just don't do well with being told what to do. So I'm best doing what I do. Working for myself. I make my own schedule, you know. Hey, Sherry. Um, I can do my own thing. I can change things if something isn't working. I don't have to ask for permission. Um, that's the best thing for me. Not gonna lie. So if I weren't grooming, I don't know what I'd be doing. Sure wouldn't be working at the mine, because in all the years that I've lived here, I've never once applied for any of the mines in the area. Ever. Because I already know I probably will not make it through my probation period. Because I'll be done called somebody stupid. They don't do something the way it's supposed to be done, the way, safety tells us that we're supposed to do it or something, and then yeah, then I end up fired. um, at the one that my husband works out specifically, they mine copper and a byproduct that's called moly, but that gets 99% of that gets shipped overseas for something that they use it for overseas. Then they also do some precious, very, very minor amounts of precious metal leaching as well. But the main product is copper and moly. Moly is what they call it. It's a really long name, and I can never remember, but they call it moly. But this area of Nevada is also well known for. We have several gold mines and silver mines. So that's another product that is mined out here pretty regular too. But specifically, the one that my husband works at is copper. Let's do the minus sign, number 27. Um, it wouldn't necessarily be a gold rush. It's deep underground gold that they're mining, so it's not quite as easy as the gold rush of California. So Maya, that's going to be another field trip live that I do. We have, yeah, it wouldn't be for my diamond painting, but it is going to be another little field trip live that I do sometime this summer. Um, where we have this one spot just outside of town, um, where you can actually go mine your own garnets, and you can dig up your own garnets, like the actual garnet stone. And it's called Garnet Hill. Garnets, like they're a gemstone. They're not the rubies. They're the deep red ones. Ruby is a much lighter red versus the garnet. And if I'm not mistaken, it's January. January is the month. Garnet is the birthstone for January, if I'm not mistaken. But that'll be another another little field trip. We usually go every summer, but last year we couldn't go because of my surgery. So the kids have already asked if we'll be going again this year, and I told them yes, we will definitely go this year because we couldn't go last year. Oh, sorry. My accent getting a little thick on you. And like I said, if I'm not mistaken, I'm almost 100% positive that it is the birthstone for January. I actually grew up in Florida, but I live in the middle of Nevada now. So, God's child, I don't know how you found me, but many of us are part of the anti-Scientology community, and many of us are active protesters. Those that aren't active protesters are um, very well known in the support community for us. I'll come right back to you, Sherry. Um, and where I grew up was right down the highway from Clearwater, Florida, which is where Scientology does a lot of its higher level brainwashing courses. So it's like right, if you find Tampa and Clearwater on the map, and then you hang a little bit to the right, almost straight across, you'll see Mulberry, and that's actually where I grew up and where I'm from. And then Sherry. Sometimes they are pieces for myself, be it for my home or for my shop. A lot of times I actually will give them away, donate them to different organizations for silent auctions to help them raise money. I have a series that I'll be working on trying to get those done as well, of smaller paintings. There's 5 in the series. And those will be, once I have the whole series done, those will be donated to our care center, where many of our medical needs are housed. Like a friend of mine was in a severe motorcycle accident, and she shattered both of her legs. But her mobile home didn't have enough room for her wheelchair, so she had to stay in the care center while she was recovering, because her home was not set up for the medical equipment that she needed for mobility, that kind of thing. Elderly will stay at the care center a lot of times until they pass, if they're unable to care for themselves fully in their homes, things like that. So there's a whole series of basically woodland cottages pictures that once I get that whole series done, I'll be donating those to the care center. This one is a gift from my landlord. I have one that is firefighters. That is going to be donated to one of the outlying towns, a volunteer fire department. So, yeah, that's what I do with them. So this one is all, it's got the britches, how they have the britches up over the boots, and they set them to the side, so all they got to do is step in the boots and pull the britches up. So that's that. One of their helmets, the axe, the pry bar backed behind a American flag and part of a fire truck. So this will be donated. So my family roots are actually from another town. It was one of the original founding families of this little town. So this will be donated to the volunteer fire department in that town. So, and no, I don't frame them, because a lot of these are oddball sizes. Like this one is 16 by 20. I don't have anywhere here that I can source frames. So this is how I mount most of mine, in like a scroll style, because I can get these little, actually you can see them right here. I can get these pieces of wood trim for like $5 to $7 a piece, and I can cut them down to make these. And the top helps hang. I just taper the edge of the painting. I cut the painting to the edge of I cut the edges, the sides to the edge of the painting. And then I cut the top and bottom just short enough that it won't peek out the top of the board. And then taper the corners so they don't stick out. And then just use a bit of a couple of staples. And then you can I have a big roll of jute twine that I use, but you can use string, ribbon, yarn, whatever, to make your own little hanger. And then I put one at the bottom. Whew, a moth got it in the house. You can put one at the bottom that just kind of helps pull it down to make it, hang straight. And you can get, 4 of these, 5 of these out of a single piece of wood trim for just a few dollars. So, because I would have to order out frames, and these are oddball sizes. Like that one was 16 by 20. This one doesn't have a size on it. Yes, it does. It's 45 by 85 centimeters. You can, but I wouldn't recommend it, because then sometimes you can lose some of the diamonds depending on how well how good the adhesive is on your picture. So I wouldn't recommend it. You could roll them to maybe ship them, but then they would need to come out and be hung as soon as possible. It's not something that you would want to keep rolled up. Because you could lose some diamonds if it stays rolled up too long. So it's not something that you would want to actually roll up for long periods of time. But I have mounted one with the scroll style like that, then rolled it with the diamonds out and sent it to my dad in Florida for Christmas. So for short periods of time, for shipping or something, it's fine, but not for storage. Long-term storage, I wouldn't recommend it. And my dog has started snoring. I'm surprised you guys can't. Oh, no, I'm on the mic tonight. I have the mic on, so you probably won't be able to hear it all. Yes, Miss Mona. I have clean laundry on the bed that I need to fold, or I turn the camera around, but I'm a little neurotic about showing my clothes. Because, again, she is stretched out across my bed. I cannot with this dog sometimes, I swear. Now, you guys have actually seen most of my room. but it's going to be changing. Not sure how we're going to handle this, because we're going to repaint new curtains. We're going to do the room up the way I want it. We're going to get new beds for the kids. An actual bed for me instead of this couch thing. Probably go ahead and get rid of the couch. Sell it to somebody just starting out their first place or something. Check, make sure that this is still connected. It is, okay. The couch is still in really good shape. I always keep it covered and everything, so we'll probably sell it dirt cheap for somebody just starting out. Me and the kids are getting new beds because the kids have wooden frames that are quite heavy and bulky. So we'll probably go ahead and get rid of those and get them regular bed frames. We found some really cute metal ones on Amazon. And the kids love them because they not only are they metal, and they're a really cute design, real simple. But they also have LED lights that you can put on them. And then on the side it has, yeah, that's kind of why we want to get a more manageable bed frames for the girls. But the ones that we're looking at, they're rated for 500-pound weight limit. So if the girls want to be able to hang out and sit on the same bed and play board games or whatever, it will definitely hold them. But then they're also lightweight enough if they want to, rearrange their rooms, because they rearrange their room all the time. It's still easy enough that they can manage to do that on their own at a whim like they normally do. But then these frames also have, they have the LED lights, and then they also have two USB plugs and 2 regular plugs on the frame. So it kind of clips right to the side of the frame. So that'll be easier for them for their phones and stuff. So, and they're only $100 a piece. And they're solid metal. Yeah, They're super cool. The Yeah, it is. It's 99.99 or something like that. 98 or something like that. Um, but they're solid metals, so I know there's not going to be any broken, wooden slats like we've had with the wooden beds in the past, where we've had to go and get 1x2s to replace broken slats from, kids being kids. So even the slats underneath are solid metal. So if they want to, sit on the same bed and play board games, which they actually do stuff like that quite a bit. They're the singles. And even the bed I'm looking at getting for myself is also a single. My husband has a queen size bed, and eventually he's thinking about downsizing to give himself some more room in his room. Oh, I should probably explain. God's child. My husband and I have our own rooms because I'm a horrible, horrible insomniac. So I'm usually up in the middle of the night like I am right now. And having separate rooms allows me to be able to do whatever I want while I'm awake, because I don't sleep, without bothering him, because he's on this rotation. Also, I have to be warmer for my body to like me. Otherwise, it hates me, and it screams at me and tells me how much it hates me by being in pain more. So I need to keep my area and my zone warmer. But he has to have it like a daggum igloo. Like 2 years ago, he had his bedroom window open clear through like February, and the only reason he closed it then was because we had a blizzard. Okay? The man is not normal. But we also found that we can't sleep together because he has to have an ice cold. Yes, he does the same thing, Scooter Mom. It's bad. If he gets too hot while he's sleeping, he will wake himself up constantly because he starts snoring so badly. He wakes himself up from snoring because he can't breathe. He gets too hot, he can't breathe. He gets congested, and that causes him to snore. And the snoring constantly wakes him up. Not to mention it wakes me up. I already don't get a lot of sleep. Waking me up in the middle of the night is not a good idea. Or, off and on all night because you're snoring is not a good idea. So, yeah. So Sherry, we don't have AC either. We have a swamp cooler that we use, and it will literally freeze me out of house and home. So that's another thing, in the summertime, the kids love it because they'll be outside and then come in and stand in front of the swamp cooler, and we need that for the kids. And I'm sitting here literally in a hoodie and slippers, or in my robe doubled up and slippers because my feet are freezing. But having separate rooms, we both are able to sleep in our own comfort levels without the other suffering. because I have to be warm. I could literally be sweating in my sleep, and it just makes me sleep harder. Like, I'm weird. Like, he's weird because he likes it so cold, and I'm weird because I'm on the exact opposite. I know I'm not right. I also sleep with a comforter, but weighted blankets didn't work well for me because they're cold. Um, I was not comfortable with them. I tried them, and I just didn't like them. But Mona actually works similarly to what a weighted blanket would do, but she's warm. And that's the difference. She is warm, whereas the weighted blanket is not. So I get the effects of the weighted blanket. All right. We will see you next time, my dear. You have a wonderful day. Yes, she is absolutely a sweeter living blanket. That is exactly what it is. You know, I get the same effects as if I were using a weighted blanket, but she is warm instead of cold like a weighted blanket. And she's a little bit intuitive too, so she knows if I'm going to be moving. Um, you know, she knows the more I move, the more she actually has to lay on top of me to keep me still. You know, things like that. So she's kind of intuitive too for some of my needs while I'm sleeping. And she comes with kisses, absolutely. Absolutely. And she's got some of the sweetest kisses. D is number 11. Yeah, she is definitely mama's girl. Oh, I'm sorry, Sherry. Yes, Mona is my, she's actually the dog that is in my profile picture, and she is my service dog. I'm sorry. Yeah, my cat did the same thing. We lost her a couple years ago, and she was just shy of 20 when we lost her. Thank you, Sherry. Yes, Maya, you are. Yes, you are. But that's okay. So for this one, because I do have my desk, this desk is specific for diamond painting. I don't do anything else on this desk but diamond painting. I have a separate desk that is like my office, my YouTube studio area. So I can actually lead this. What I was doing when I wasn't working on it in between for the long time, hey, Nicole, is I actually just take either a clippy hanger, like the pants clippy hangers from the store, or a regular hanger with a binder clip, and I just hang it. I use those, and I just hang it up somewhere so it's up and out of the way and doesn't get damaged. Yes, losing pets it is absolutely the worst. Yeah, and that's not even. I also have a sewing machine table too. Actually, I have two of them. Yeah. So my one sewing machine table is opened all the way up. It has my sewing machine on it, and then I have it at the end of my office desk, because I basically have a small home office area in my bedroom as well. And but with the sewing machine table on the end, it actually gives me like an L-shaped workspace. Yeah, no, I mean my office desk is a little bit of a catch-all, but it's because I have all the flyer stuff, my sticker stuff, my printer is on one end, so, and then of course my computer and all that stuff. So, and my course study, my study stuff. So I have all that stuff in that area, and then this is specifically for my diamond painting. No, Sherry, don't, no. Just because it's a different sort of animal, it doesn't mean that it doesn't affect you any less. Just, I mean, the only difference between that and a cat or a dog is you can't pick them up and hug them, but you're still caring for them. You're still spending time with them. They still recognize you. You can absolutely train fish to do simple tricks. You spend a lot of time caring for fish. For many, many years before I actually had a service dog, I kept a fish tank, um, just for the relaxation portion, and part of having like running water constantly in the background, things like that. And even at that, I wasn't in love with my fish like I am with my dogs and my fur animals, but it was still upsetting when I lost a fish. Absolutely. They're still companions, like Scooter Mom says. I get that, Nicole. That's why I try to make it easy when I do, like when I've had to store this one so that I can work on a different painting and I need this one out of the way. A real simple way to do that is I literally have two hooks, because there's a bonus room on the end, on the side of my bedroom here, and it's kind of our workout room, our um, storage for big things that don't, like in the wintertime our golf clubs will go in there, things like that. So I have two hooks on the back of that door that I use binder clips to hang this. But another way would be, like I said, a hanger with binder clips to be able to hang this up and maybe put it in the back of your closet so it doesn't get damaged, things like that. There's easy ways. Yeah, water babies, exactly. Just because you can't physically hold them like you can a cat or a dog or a bird or something like that doesn't make their loss any less. Just makes it different. Yeah. But you know what, Scooter Mom? Sometimes that's actually mostly The type of fish that I would get would be the simple goldfish or guppies, smaller fish, because I kept a fish tank simply for the sound of the water constantly running in the background. I mean, I cared about my fish. I took good care of them and everything, but just having the sound was calming for me. But yeah, I had a fish tank, a simple fish tank, for years and years and years. Oh, I hope so too, Sherry. Yeah, I don't like the idea of flushing down the toilet either. I bet it was. I had to with my cat. I had to make sure I had a really good top on it. Fish tank was a gift from my son, and by magic the tank has grown. Became very different. Yeah, yeah. That's one thing I wouldn't do. I wouldn't get fish for my kids. My kids have to have something that interacts with them a lot more, or they get bored too easy. Not have a fish tank for my kids. Now, my youngest, I do have a Schnauzer, and he belongs to he's my dog, but he belongs to my youngest. And I told her when she moves out, she's going to have to take him with her because he is not going to know what to do with himself if she leaves him here, because she is his person. Oh crap, it's almost 1 o'clock and I have to work tomorrow. Later today. I have 4 dogs tomorrow. But they're regulars. They come every 6 weeks. So they're easy babies. Oh yeah. Still in the early mischief years, for sure. Yeah, no drama dogs. The hardest one is the puppy, because she's still terrified of water. Well, she's not scared of water. She's scared of the spray. That's what she's actually scared of. And actually, in reality, when dogs are scared of water, 9 times out of 10, that's actually what they're scared of, is the spray, not necessarily the water itself. Um, that's not 100%, but more often that is the case. And we're still working on getting her comfortable with the sprayer. So we just take our time. So she takes a little bit longer because she needs a little bit more snuggles as we go, but we know about it, and I just take my time with her and love on her and talk her through it, and she's getting much better. Just going to take some time. But she's not a bad dog, just needs a little extra care. All right, I think I'm just going to finish these D's and then we will call it a night. That way I'll wake up in the morning. It's still going to take a while for me to fall asleep. And I truly appreciate you guys hanging in there with me while we were testing out some stuff tonight. You guys are rock stars. I appreciate it. Yeah. Have you tried, what kind of dogs do you have, Nicole? Yes, you absolutely were my personal tech support tonight. For sure. All right, Red. We'll talk to you later, darling. Yes, Maya's dog is a Shih Tzu. And Maya has learned how to groom him all by herself. I'm super impressed because she does a really good job. Yeah. I'm sure, Maya. Even professional groomers start out that way. And with time and with practice, you get better. You learn what techniques work well for you to get the desired look you want, and then you go from there. Hell, when I first started, I couldn't groom to save my life, but it takes time and patience and the willingness to change as you get better to find what works good for you. Labs and they don't like water? Staffy, yeah. Yeah, that's what Mona is. She's Staffy. And a mutt sheepdog. Okay. Good luck. The labs shock me that they don't like water. The Staffy doesn't. They hate water a lot of times. Not always. Sometimes you get ones that absolutely love it, but not always. And same with sheepdogs and those types of breeds. They tend to not. Oh, good. The old lab is crazy. He doesn't like it. Email me, Nicole, and try to give you a couple of different tricks to try. And good equipment, yes. Yes, good equipment does definitely make a difference. Yes, Scooter Mom is correct. If they're black nails and you really can't tell, then just take a tiny sliver at a time until you see a dot in the middle of the white part of the nail. That little dot that you'll see is actually the end of the quick. So that's just a little nugget. If as you get more comfortable and more confident, you'll get better and you'll know more of how much you can take off. But just take a little bit at a time. Yeah, just take a little bit at a time. But the biggest thing a lot of people don't mention is I hope the videos that you watched do mention it, but as you trim, if you just do what we call tipping, where you're just taking the very tip off and then you just take little slivers, and as you take those little slivers, make sure you watch for that little dot to show up in the middle of the nail. That dot is literally the end of the quick. So you can take a little bit of that dot, but you don't want it to go any further than that because then you can make them bleed. Okay, yeah, Nicole, email me for sure. I probably won't get to it until tomorrow afternoon, though. I have some emails that I do need to catch up on that I haven't yet, but I'll probably get to them tomorrow afternoon. Yes, use proper pet trimmers. Now, there's a couple different ones on the market. There's the guillotine type that have the blade that slide up from the bottom when you squeeze the handles, and I typically don't care for those. And I typically do not recommend those for people just starting out with clipping nails. They can be a little bit more difficult to get the nail in. They can, especially if the nail curls quite a bit. They can be more difficult to position the clipper at the angle that you need to clip at. So I typically suggest staying away from those. If you're going to use nail clippers, I typically recommend the bypass style or the scissor style, so that when you squeeze them, the two blades close from the sides instead of from coming up from the bottom. Those will give you better visual to be able to see better of what you're doing. They also give a better squeeze on the nail. And if you stay, and this is what a lot of people go wrong with nails, and this is why a lot of times the nails get so long and get out of control. the bypass or scissor style squeeze from the sides of the nail, where the guillotine style squeezes from the bottom as it slices through the nail. But the bottom of the nail is actually the softest. And so it doesn't have a lot of resistance, so you don't get a lot of squeeze. The squeeze from clipping the nail regularly is what actually, part of what actually keeps the quick from getting too long. So if you have a dog that has excessively long nails and you really want to shorten them naturally without quicking them or having to take them to the vet to have the vet do it, is every couple of weeks where you get just enough growth that you get a good solid clip, you go clip their nails, because it's the squeezing action from the sides of the nail that help push the quick back naturally. But you have to stay on it typically what I tell my clients when we're doing this with one of their dogs is no more than 4 weeks. I want to see them no more or no longer than once a month, because you have to stay ahead of the growth of the nail and the quick. What many don't know about excessively long nails that turns into a chronic issue is chronic long nail can and will lead to our development of arthritis, foot injuries. It puts a lot of unnecessary stress and wear and tear on the bones and ligaments, actual bones and ligaments of the foot. Because a dog is supposed to, especially on the front feet, they're supposed to actually walk more on the toes and the front part of that large pad. And then their leg is supposed to kind of come up like this. With chronic long nails, the first thing that's going to happen is the nails are going to get so long that it pushes the toes up, causing the foot structure to rock from the front to the back. So then you're pulling the foot out of order and out of position, because you're causing the dog to walk more on the back of the foot instead of the front of the foot like they're supposed to. And then, yes, Maya. That way you're kind of getting that squeeze from the sides, and that helps to keep that quick from getting too long. Another thing that can happen with chronic long nails is the nail will get so long that it starts curling under, so then the dog starts walking on it. And then that causes the curl to get even more pronounced. And just like if you were to pull your nail down, it actually pulls from the nail bed. Pulling from the nail bed can actually cause a lot of damage there. You can cause the nails can be ripped out much easier, because that's all tender and softened, because the nail is being pulled out of whack. The nails can turn sideways when they get so long. And when the nails turn sideways, that puts a lot of pressure and strain on the bone structure and the ligaments and connective tissue within the foot, because not only are we leaning back on the back of the foot now, we're also turning toes. So that can cause a lot of pain and discomfort in the feet, because the bone structure is being pulled out of alignment. This can all lead to it can lead to onsets of arthritis within the joints of the feet. It can also, if it's a chronic long-term issue, it can actually also lead to permanent disfigurement of the feet. So proper nail clipping and proper length of the nails is extremely important. It's no different than us. When our feet hurt and our feet aren't healthy, it throws off our walk, it throws off our gait, it throws off everything from the ankles up because our feet are out. Our feet aren't right. So when our feet hurt, our whole body hurts. It's the same with the dogs. Oh yeah. A lot of most cats do enjoy being brushed, that's for sure. So, but that's one of the reasons that's a big reason why I offer nail clipping services free of charge in my shop. Um, because if people don't have to pay, especially those that have multiple dogs and maybe on a fixed income, um, if they don't have to pay, they are more likely to bring their dogs in on a regular basis to have their nails done. If somebody can afford it, they're going to bring their dogs in and have their nails done. If you keep a dog's feet healthy, you're lessening the pain and discomfort they're in. You're lessening chances of, significant foot injuries, joint, basically any joint injuries, because it runs through the whole body just like it does with us. So, yeah, chronic long nails can be a very big problem for dogs. Now, it's just that I care. Most shops will charge anywhere from $5 to $10 per dog for nails. Sometimes even more than that. In some cities, they won't even clip them without an appointment for a full service. That's when you have multiple dogs, that adds up. And if you're an elderly person who's on, retirement, or, a younger person that may have been injured and is on workman's comp right now because you were injured at work, you just don't have the money. It can add up. But that's one thing that I can give back to my community and make that service available free of charge. So I have a ton of people that come in just for nail clipping, free nail clipping, and they use none of my other paid services. That's the only reason they come to me, is free nail clipping. And I'm absolutely okay with that. Because in the end, the dogs are the ones that are doing better. You're back, child. All right, Sherry. I'm hoping that I'll be on tomorrow night. So I don't try to promise, but I do try to plan. So, but it is now after 1:00, and I do have to work tomorrow. So. So I think I will be calling it a night. I didn't get all the D's done, but I did get a good chunk done tonight. Got a lot of these big portions here done. So, yeah, Nicole, yeah. And that's kind of what it is. I mean, like I said, I have a ton of people that is literally the only reason they come to me, is just for the nail clippings. And I'm A-okay with that. And then sometimes when they do get extra money, because their dog is comfortable with me, because they've been bringing them in for nail clippings and whatnot, then they do, sometimes, call me for an appointment or something. But it is never expected. Never expected. And I tell people that all the time. The nail clipping service is free of charge, no appointments needed. It's a walk-in service, and there is never any strings attached, ever. And as long as me or somebody in my family is running this business, it will always be that way. So, but yeah, it's 1:15, so I must go or I'm going to keep talking about dogs. Let me drop this down so I can see. There we go. So, I have no plans after work tomorrow, so the plan is to come on tomorrow night. As always, it's not a guarantee, but that's the plan. And we'll work some more on this painting together and hang out. I do want to try to get it done quickly so I can get it gifted over to its new owner and finish up the other one that I have that is a partial. Well, it's not a partial. It's a full picture. Even the background is done on that one, but it's a partially done. And maybe some more tech trials. I don't know. We'll see. That was frustrating tonight. I might take a break from that because that was frustrating. I was getting frustrated. Streamlabs was doing great there for a little bit once we got it going good and got it figured out, and then it kicked me completely out of the stream. Frustrating. Dadgummit. That's right. Dadgummit. So, all right, folks. 6 p.m. Yeah, you know how to get me going. Just talk about dogs. Definitely. Yes, if I don't test, I won't know. But I might take I might take one little break from testing. Because I was, that was torquing my noodle big time. There's a torquing my noodle. So I might take one night off from testing something. One night. So I'll let you guys answer that question real quick, and then we'll go ahead and call it a night. So, all right, folks. I love you all. Thank you for bearing with me. You guys rock. You're awesome. Yeah, I'm wishing for a good sleep too myself, for sure. We shall see. So, all right. The plan is to see all of you guys again tomorrow afternoon or evening, night, whenever I can get around to actually getting the time to get on. So, all right, guys. I'll see you guys later. Have a good night. Oh, I'm sure, God's child. I'm sure. I do try to go on more often than not, but I do really enjoy these little late night streams that we do. So, all right, guys. I'll see you later.